Imagine a young man who, at just 20 years old, assumes the immense responsibility of ruling an entire kingdom. Within just a decade, he becomes one of history's greatest generals, conquering half of the known world. This is not a legend or a myth. This is the story of Alexander the Great, a man who changed the course of history. How did he achieve this? What was he like in life and on the battlefield? Let's find out. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in Pella, the capital of Macedonia. His father, Philip II, was a powerful king renowned for his military reforms, ambitions, and diplomatic skills, while his mother, Olympias, was a strong-willed woman deeply convinced of her son's divine destiny. From a young age, Olympias instilled in Alexander the belief that greatness was his destiny. A legend surrounding Alexander's birth tells that on the night Olympias conceived him, a serpent visited her, and soothsayers foretold that her son would become a great conqueror. This mythical aura fueled Alexander's ambitions from an early age. His education was a cornerstone of his life. Philip hired Aristotle, the greatest philosopher of the time, to tutor Alexander. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander studied literature, philosophy, science, medicine, and rhetoric. Aristotle taught him to be not only a ruler but a thinker who understood the world. Alexander treated Homer's Iliad as a guide to life, carrying a copy with him at all times. Young Alexander exhibited extraordinary intelligence and determination. The famous tale of him taming the wild horse Bucephalus became a symbol of his character. Understanding the horse's fear of its shadow, Alexander turned it toward the sun, demonstrating his ability to solve problems creatively. Bucephalus remained his loyal companion throughout his campaigns. From an early age, Alexander showed not only strength and ingenuity, but also an interest in philosophical questions. Aristotle instilled in him a love for knowledge and curiosity that stayed with him throughout his life. For example, Alexander respected the cultures and traditions of the peoples he conquered, and often visited local temples to honor their beliefs. In 336 BCE, Philip II was assassinated during his daughter's wedding celebration. At just 20 years old, Alexander faced immense challenges. The young king had to deal with threats both within his court and beyond. Revolts erupted across Greece, and northern barbarian tribes threatened Macedonia. But Alexander acted decisively. Early in his reign, he crushed a rebellion in Thebes, completely destroying the city. This served as a warning to all Greek city-states that defiance would not be tolerated. He then united Greece under his leadership, becoming the head of the Corinthian League. It was at this time that he declared his goal: to conquer the Persian Empire, the arch-enemy of the Greeks. Historians note that Alexander did not just suppress uprisings, but also solidified his power through symbolic actions. For instance, he cultivated a heroic image, portraying himself as akin to Achilles. This helped him win the loyalty of both his soldiers and his subjects. In 334 BCE, Alexander began his legendary campaign by crossing the Hellespont. His army of 35,000 faced the vast and wealthy Persian Empire. The first battle took place at the Granicus River, where Alexander personally led the charge and achieved a decisive victory, opening the way into Asia Minor. Next came the Battle of Issus in 333 BCE. Despite being vastly outnumbered by Darius III's forces, Alexander employed brilliant tactics to overcome the Persians. He captured Darius's camp and family, delivering not only a military victory, but also a psychological blow. In Egypt, Alexander was welcomed as a liberator. Locals greeted him with great enthusiasm, viewing him as a savior from Persian rule. The priests of the Temple of Amun proclaimed him the son of a god, elevating his status to near divine. According to accounts, the Egyptians organized grand processions, and Alexander, recognizing the significance of the moment, participated in their rituals, strengthening his connection with local culture. In Egypt, he founded Alexandria, which would become a center of culture and learning in the ancient world. This tradition of founding cities was part of his strategy. Alexander created hubs of Greek culture to integrate conquered peoples. Alexander pushed his armies further east, into the heart of the Persian Empire. The Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BCE was the climax of his campaign. Here Alexander decisively defeated Darius III, marking the end of the Persian Empire. He then declared himself king of Asia. But Alexander was not ready to stop. He continued his conquests, marching through Central Asia, where he founded cities and solidified control over new territories. Many of these cities were named after him and became centers for spreading Greek culture. During his campaigns, Alexander displayed not only military genius but also political flexibility. He adopted local customs and married Roxana, a noblewoman from Sogdia, to strengthen ties with local elites. In 327 BCE, Alexander entered India, where he faced powerful Indian rulers. The Battle of the Hydaspes River was one of his toughest challenges. Opposing him were war elephants and well-trained troops. Yet Alexander prevailed, showing remarkable resilience and tactical brilliance. However, his soldiers were exhausted from years of campaigning. They began to refuse to march further. Though displeased, Alexander was forced to turn back. This marked the first sign that even his will had limits. Returning to Babylon in 324 BCE, Alexander began planning new campaigns, including an expedition to Arabia and the creation of a new world order where diverse cultures could coexist. He sought to unite East and West by organizing marriages between Macedonians and Persians and integrating Greek traditions into conquered lands. But in 323 BCE, at the age of 32, Alexander suddenly fell ill. According to one legend, shortly before his illness, he drank from a cup given to him by a mysterious guest and later felt unwell. Some historians suggest he may have been poisoned to prevent further conquests, while others point to natural causes like malaria or typhoid. His sudden death gave rise to numerous rumors and conspiracy theories that persist to this day. His death left the empire without a strong leader, and it soon fragmented among his generals, known as the Diadochi. Alexander the Great lived a short but extraordinarily eventful life. His conquests not only reshaped the political map of the world, but also created a bridge between cultures that influenced humanity for millennia. Yet, who was he truly? A hero dreaming of unity, or a ruthless conqueror seeking absolute power? That remains a question for history. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.